meditation first. Meditation is simply a state of being, a natural state of being, and it's recognizing who we are, the very existential core of ourselves beyond our normal identity that we hold in society, identity of our body, of our psychological identity, our personality, going beyond that and recognizing who we existentially are. That's meditation. And the technique we use, there's different meditation techniques we use, such as the breath, a sound, a different chakra point in the body. So we use different techniques to get to that place within ourselves and go beyond the sense of I and a separate object and come into that singular consciousness within ourselves. And so in today's guided meditation, it'll be roughly about 40 minutes or so. We'll be using 3 different techniques. First, we'll be starting with the awareness of the breath at the nostril area. If you find difficulty focusing at the nostril area, you can become aware of the breath at the abdomen area, just putting your hand on the abdomen and just noticing the rising and falling of the breath at the abdomen area. And then we'll be following with placing our attention in between the eyebrows at the third eye, and then a contemplation and resting into our natural, effortless presence within ourselves. So you can do any of the techniques. If you wish to just stay with the breath, you can do. If you wish to move on to the third eye and the contemplation, you can do. If it's too much and you feel overloaded, just stick with the breath and do what you feel comfortable is for yourself. Also, you can practice your own meditation techniques and just use this space, this group space to support you. Okay, so we'll make a start. I think Ben is getting disconnected and coming back, but he'll arrive in his own time. Okay, we'll make a start. So just make yourself comfortable in a comfortable posture and just close your eyes in your own time. Trying to keep your spine upright. You can keep your hands on your lap. You can grasp your hands together, whichever hand posture you wish to. Just close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just allow your attention to come to the breath. Allowing your attention to move to the nostril area first. And as you inhale, just feeling that sensation of air coming in through the nostrils as you inhale. And as you exhale, feeling that sensation of air coming back out the nostrils as you exhale. If you find it difficult to focus at the nostril initially, you can place one hand at the abdomen area. And as you breathe in, you'll feel your abdomen rise. And as you exhale, you'll feel your abdomen fall. And you can just notice the breath in this way, just watching the rising and falling of the abdomen. And then when you're comfortable with that, then bring your attention back to the nostril area and just observe the breath at the nostril area. So you may notice your breath is predominantly coming out of the left nostril or right nostril, or you may feel that sensation of air through both nostrils equally. You may feel that sensation of air coming in, touching the bottom of the nostril or the top of the nostril. But just see where you feel that sensation of air coming the most, and just focus your attention there. And allow your breathing to be natural. You don't have to alter your breathing in any way. However, as you initially focus on the breath, you'll find yourself changing the pace of breathing or the rhythm of breathing. But slowly try to just become a witness, just to simply observe the breath as it is. The breath is naturally coming in and out. It's a natural process which is naturally occurring. We're simply aware of the breath as it is in this moment without having to judge it, change it in any way. It's simply a being observer to your present moment experience of the breath at the nostril area. And each time you notice your attention moving to some different object, whether it's some thought, some emotion, some sensation in the body, or some sound or some experience around you, just notice your attention is not with the breath. Notice where your attention is, with a particular thought, sensation, experience, and just be an observer to that experience for a few moments, and then gently bring your attention back to the nostril area and simply just watch the breath coming in and out. And as you watch the breath in this way, slowly your breathing will slow down, your breathing will become more deeper, more subtler. And as your breath becomes more deeper, subtler, it slows down. Naturally, your thoughts will start to decrease, and you'll naturally feel a calmness in the mind and in the body. Training your attention to recognize whenever your attention is with some other object or experience, with some thought, sensation, some story that's playing within you. Each time recognizing that your attention is not with the breath, and then bringing your attention, guiding your attention back to the breath of the nostril area. A simple process. Each time your attention becoming stronger, each time your self-awareness increasing, recognizing when your attention is engaging into different thoughts and different experiences unconsciously, bringing more conscious awareness within oneself. Watching the breath coming in, watching the breath going out, observing if the breath is coming from the right nostril, the left nostril, observing the different sensations in the nostrils as you inhale and exhale. Not judging the breath or judging yourself in any way, but just simply observing the breath as it is. In that same way, observing any thought that may appear, observing any emotion or sensation that may appear, observing any positive or negative feeling you may be having, observing any positive or negative or neutral state of mind or emotion. And as you observe the breath in this way, slowly you can observe the different thoughts, mental states, emotions in the same way without continually identifying and reacting to our different thoughts and emotions. Noticing wherever your attention is in this moment. Noticing your present moment experience. If your attention is with some thought, caught up in some thought, just be aware of that. And just observe that thought, emotion, sensation, just as you observe the breath coming and going without personally identifying with that thought or emotion. Just see it as it is, just a thought appearing within your inner space. And then bring your attention back to the breath, back to the nostril area. Even if the attention is engaging into each and every thought, just be aware of this also. If you find your mind is constantly busy, just be aware of this also. And even if you can only stay with the breath for a few moments, a few seconds, just be aware for that period of time and slowly building up more and more self awareness within oneself, slowly developing your power of attention and concentration. Observing the breath as it is in this moment. And the main key of meditation being that inner witnessing state, a state of simply just observing whatever experience may be occurring in this moment without identifying or reacting to that experience. The breath is just a neutral experience. We don't react or identify with the breath in any way, or have some personal or story around the breath. So we can just learn to observe, coming to that state of witnessing within ourselves, where we can just simply observe the breath coming in and out. And then further, we can observe the mind, observe our thoughts, which we have a lot of sensitivity around, which we react to and create a personal identity around. So slowly we can bring that sense of witnessing consciousness to our thoughts and emotions and simply observe them as they appear within us without constantly reacting to them. And so now I'll be moving to the second part of the meditation, the third eye meditation. For those who are comfortable and just wish to stay with the breath awareness and simply observe the breath, then you can do that. If you wish to follow the next instructions, please do. However, if you find it's an information overload for you, or you feel uncomfortable with the technique, then just come back to the breath. You can always come back to your breath. The breath is the anchor for the meditation, so you can always bring your attention back to this breath awareness at any point. So the third eye meditation, so still being aware of the breath at the nostril area. But as you breathe in and out, start to visualize and feel the breath as a form of energy. As you breathe in, feeling the energy rising up the nostril and moving to the point in between the eyebrows. And as you exhale, feeling as though you're looking inwards from the point in between the eyebrows and feeling energy moving to the center of the brain, to the pineal gland as you exhale. So still with the breath at the nostril area, as you breathe in, feeling a movement of energy, moving your attention to the point in between the eyebrows. And then from the point in between the eyebrows, as you exhale, feeling your attention move inwards to the center of the brain, to the pineal gland. Awakening the third eye chakra. So slowly just work in this way and slowly awaken them energies at the third eye, but slowly just feeling the energy as a flow of breath, the flow of breath as a flow of energy, breathing in the energy and your attention moving to the third eye, the point in between the eyebrows. As you exhale, attention going back to the pineal gland at the center of the brain. Feeling as though you're looking inwards as you focus your attention at the center of the brain. Feeling as though your attention and you're looking inwardly, looking within oneself from this point in between the eyebrows. You're inwardly looking into the center of the brain. And just as we're with the breath, we were just simply aware in that witnessing, observing state of consciousness. As your attention moves to the third eye, simply in that same state of observing or witnessing whatever experience may arise. Just allowing your attention to gather the third eye at the point in between the eyebrows. You may feel some sensations there. And make sure you're focusing gently, not focusing your attention too hard at the point in between the eyebrows. Just a gentle focus, like a gentle gazing as you gaze out in some space in nature. Just a natural gazing at the point in between the eyebrows, and then looking into the center of the brain from this space. And just witnessing whatever experience may arise. And slowly, as you can, stabilize your attention at the third eye. Then you no longer have to follow the breath and feel the breath as the energy coming in and out. You can just allow your attention just to focus at the point in between the eyebrows and then at the center of the brain. Just holding your attention there. When you're ready, if at any point you need to come back to the breath, then do so. And with your attention at the point in between the eyebrows and the space at the center of the brain, observing any experience that may arise. If you're aware of the breath coming and going, just be aware of the breath. If you're aware of some sensation in the body, just aware of that sensation, or thought, or emotion, or sound. And feeling as though you're turning your attention, instead of your attention moving out through the external senses, you're turning your attention 180 degrees and turning your attention inwards from this point in between the eyebrows. And you're turning your attention internally into the body, as though you can experience the body internally, look within the body from the third eye. And from the third eye, being able to internally view our inner space. In this inner space, you may observe different thoughts arising and passing, different emotions, different stories, beliefs within ourselves. And just to observe whatever comes up. Thoughts cannot come up now. You can give permission to anything to rise with your attention focus at the third eye. Just allow any experience to naturally come and go. If you find yourself reacting and identify engaging in some thought, just be aware of that from the third eye area. And just to observe thoughts, emotions, without that personal attachment. Just to observe thoughts and experiences as you observe a film, a movie, and as your attention deepens at the third eye, you start to perceive your inner reality more deeply, start to perceive your inner reality from a higher perspective, recognizing a thought is just a thought, it's just another movement of energy within oneself. Everything is just a movement of energy, of different frequency, of a different vibration. If you find your attention is unconsciously engaging into different thoughts, different emotions and experiences, just be aware of where your attention is and then guide your attention back to the point in between the eyebrows, or to the breath first and then the eyebrows, the point in between the eyebrows, and then simply just observe whatever experience comes up again, as though you're just inwardly watching completely still and just inwardly watching whatever appears within your inner space. Thoughts and emotions, sensations in the body, different experiences may arise and pass like clouds passing in the sky. Some clouds are very light and clear, just as some thoughts and emotions are quite light, maybe positive. However, some thoughts may be very heavy, dense. Some emotions may be very dense, heavy, just like clouds. But recognizing that inner awareness within oneself, that inner space within oneself, is untouched by the movement of thoughts, emotions, experiences. Just like the sky, which is untouched by the different movement of clouds within its space. Recognizing that deeper sense of awareness within oneself, that witnessing consciousness within oneself, which is undisturbed by any thought or emotion. Only the sense of I and identity is disturbed by different thoughts, different beliefs it has about itself. Only the psychological self-image we have of ourselves identifies and reacts to different thoughts and experiences. But as we recognize this deeper space within oneself, we recognize this deeper awareness within oneself, this unchanging awareness within oneself, this unchanging presence within oneself, which is ever present, which is effortlessly present. It's not something one has to do or achieve. It's the natural state of being. However, normally we perceive our reality from the sense of identity, the sense of being a person, and the experiences we have as being separate from ourselves. Now, as we come into this contemplation at the end of this session, just recognizing this unchanging awareness within oneself. Each time you notice your attention is with different thoughts and different experiences, just recognize that you're aware. Recognize that you're aware of this experience, aware of that particular thought or emotion, and allow your attention to move from engaging with that experience, with that thought or emotion, sensation, and allow your attention to turn 180 degrees and focus on that just sense of being aware in this moment. Allow your attention to abide into the sense of just being aware or present in this moment. You may also recognize this as a feeling of inner space within oneself, an unchanging, boundless space within oneself, and thoughts and different experiences, even the sense of identity, a sense of being a person, arises and passes in this inner space. But this inner space is just present, ever present, beyond any name or form, beyond a story, beyond a sense of identity. There's no distinction of you or I, no subject, object in this space of awareness presence. It's just a natural existential space of being, of pure consciousness, without the thought of differentiation. If you find your attention is still moving to these thoughts and experiences and getting identified with these, you can always come back to the breath awareness or the third eye meditation. When you feel ready, you can start to come back to this recognition, inner recognition of this awareness which is unchanging within oneself, which is the actual true meditation. Meditation not being an actual technique, but a state of being, a natural state of being, which is the essence of everything. And recognizing whenever the attention engages with this sense of I as a person, this conditioned identity, the whole world appears to you again, internally and then externally. Whenever you bring your attention just to this unchanging presence within oneself, this unchanging space within oneself, even the sense of conditioned identity and the world around you dissolves into this inner space within oneself. And as your attention abides in this space within this space of being within oneself, there's a natural sense of calmness, peace, tranquility, love, joy. There's a natural fragrance of one's existence for one's being, a sense of joy, peace, fulfillment. It is naturally just present. You don't have to chase after any object in the world. You don't have to chase any inner desire. But that joy, peace, happiness is just a natural state of being at the core of oneself, allowing your attention to rest in this space, recognizing this space within oneself. And just meditating in silence for the next 4 to 5 minutes, and then we'll slowly finish after 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes of silence, just resting in that space of being within oneself. If you find that difficult, just focusing on the breath or third eye. Silence for the next 5. And as you recognize and abide in this space of awareness within oneself, this existential presence within oneself, slowly that conditioned response of reacting to the sense of person and our unconscious behavior, slowly it starts to fade away, and more your attention will rest in that presence within oneself and feel that natural joy, peace, calmness, contentness flowing your daily life. And from this space of feeling a natural connection with everything. First of all, not seeing anything as different. And now slowly we'll be ending with the meditation first, just allowing your attention to come back to the breath, watching the breath for a few moments, watching the breath coming in and out, and feeling the subtle energy of the breath through the body, energizing the body, aware of the body, aware of any sensations in the body, the hands, the feet, and then allowing your attention to move in the external senses, feeling any sense of touch on the skin, any sense of temperature, aware of any taste in the mouth, any smell you may perceive, and then just being open to any sound in your room around you, the sound of your own breathing, and then in your own time, opening your eyes in your own time, aware of the space around you, the sense of light, form, and slowly moving the body, slowly stretching if you wish. But just taking your own time to come back to your normal body consciousness. And in a minute, 30 seconds or so, I'll be turning the mic back on for everybody. If anybody wish to have any questions or discussion, feel free to. If not, if you need to go, you can do. And I'll be putting a recording of this session, just of the guided meditation. I won't be sharing any question and answers or any videos of anybody else um, on Facebook and YouTube, so you can come back to this practice. Also, yeah. So I'll be trying to do this event every Sunday, if possible, 2 p.m. If anybody wishes to give any donations, you can do to the PayPal address there, or any of the if you look in the description of the meetup event, you can find the links there. So I'm just going to